Hi, everyone. Happy summer and welcome to the summer semester of Introduction to Law. I am hoping that you are watching this video because you are in our asynchronous Introduction to Law class. And I wanted to make this welcome video to, first of all, introduce myself to you. Not all of my videos for this semester have my face on it because I made them a little while ago and I'm in the process of updating the video. So now you can see me now that I have a webcam on my computer. But I want to introduce myself and also show you around our Blackboard class and just tell you a little bit about the nuts and bolts of our summer class and how it will work. So first of all, a warm welcome. Second of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Hallie Sugarman. I pronounce my first name like Hallie. I like to say Hallie like Halle Berry. I am a professor of paralegal studies here at Middlesex Community College, and I've been working here since I think 2011, so for a little while now. But I won't tell you too much else about me because one of the opening questions on the discussion board is to have you guys ask me a question about myself. But just so you know, I do work at the college. I've been teaching Introduction to Law for many semesters, including online for many semesters, even before the pandemic. This is a class that I always taught online. So I'm very comfortable teaching in this format. And I promise that even though we don't meet in person, you will be able to hear my voice. And we have active discussion boards every week of the semester, which will kind of force everybody to get to know each other and talk about the law. The law is not one of those topics that we should be sitting quietly and just reading to ourselves about. There's a lot to talk about. There's always something interesting in the news. There's always some interesting legal matters to discuss, and we will have a lot of opportunity to do that through our weekly discussion boards. A little bit else about me is that I am a licensed attorney, although I'm not practicing law right now. And I also have a family and a pet, and I have a lot of hobbies, but I'll leave those up to you all to ask me questions about that on the discussion board. All right, just a little bit about our class. As you know, you're in a semester for Introduction to Law. This is a summer semester, which means it's really fast. I call it the quick and dirty summer because you will get a 3-credit class, which will satisfy either a requirement for the paralegal studies program, or maybe some of you are taking this as part of your general education studies, and I welcome you to the class. So we always have a mix of students in the class, which is wonderful. But because it's a summer semester, it means we're going to be moving pretty quickly through the material. In fact, class actually begins on June 1st, although I'm certainly releasing this video a few days ahead of time. June 1st, and class ends July 1st. So just keep that in mind because we will be moving through the semester at about a 3-to-1 pace. So normally material that will take us about 3 weeks during the regular 15-week semester, we're going to do in a 1-week period of time. So just before you get started in the class, make sure that you know what the time commitment is going to be. Make sure your friends and family know that too. Maybe your employer or people that you work with know, and just say, hey, I'm in a 4-week class. I've got to jump into the material and work my way through it. And then you can have me for the rest of the summer. Okay, so clearly we are here on our Blackboard shell. This is a website. Blackboard is what we call a learning management system. It's a fancy way of saying, what websites does your school use to put all your online material on? That's this website. So some of you may already be familiar with Blackboard. Maybe you've taken other classes at Middlesex or classes elsewhere. There's a lot of other programs like this, but they all pretty much do the same thing. Everything that you need for your class is here, right here on Blackboard. Some of you have even already emailed me looking for the book information. Guess what? There is no textbook that you need to purchase for this class. I have provided you with numerous items to read. Some of them I've written myself, and other times I link you to well-vetted websites. I promise I'm not sending you to anything that's hokey, like I'm sending you to government websites, different law schools, different legal organizations that provide the information that you need to learn in this class, but for free. I also have recorded myself, much like this, for every single topic in this semester. Now, just a couple of things about my videos. I don't re-record them every semester because that would be excruciatingly time consuming, but I do update them when appropriate with the law. So some of the videos are a few semesters old, but the material is still current. And the other piece is you might hear a mentioning in the video, I'm sorry, something about the regular semester, a 15-week semester. Obviously, this is only a 4-week plus a couple day semester. So even if you hear something in the video referring to like next week's unit or something like that, remember that we're moving through the material more quickly. Okay, so no book for the class. So how was the class organized? I started this recording on the announcements page. I'll send out an announcement I'd say about twice a week for this class, just to make sure that everybody knows what's happening. Now, the announcements will be posted here, right here where it says announcements. But as soon as I post an announcement, I will also send it to your Middlesex email account. This is really important because I don't have access to your personal email or your cell phone. That means it is your responsibility as a student in this class to check your Middlesex email every single day. I would sometimes say on a regular basis, but where this class meets for only 4 weeks and a little bit more, you really need to check the announcements every day because that's the way that I can communicate directly with you. So even if you think I'm not doing any work for the class that day, which might be impossible because there's a lot to do, log on, make sure you check your email every single day. And I will post the announcements here as well. Now, you probably found these videos, hopefully you did, under the Start Here button, so I won't show you that. Here, there's a link. If you open this page here, it will take you to office hours, syllabus information, and what to do if you have a question. So a few different things here. Seeing as how we're still emerging from the pandemic, I am not going to be on campus until the fall semester. That doesn't mean you can't reach me. I'm obviously here in my virtual world called my basement. So if you have a question, if you need to speak to me privately, please feel free to email me at this email address here. It is the best way to get in touch with me. I check my email regularly throughout the day. If I'm not available, I will always have an out of office and I will make myself available to you as soon as we can find a mutual time. So if anything comes up, email me. If you have a question about the class, material that you're reading, something more general that it's like something you would raise your hand for in class, you can use this discussion board called I Have a Question. So if you click on here, it takes you to a discussion board and you can just post your question there. Everyone else in the class can see it. So it's possible one of your classmates might be able to answer the question sooner than I can. There's also a link here to your syllabus. Your syllabus gives you all the nuts and bolts for the whole class. Part of your first homework assignment is to actually download and read the syllabus. So I'm not going to read it for you here, but some of the information that's in the syllabus looks like this. It has a list of the assignments that are due and the weeks and the dates that they are due and how many points they are worth. There's also an outline of all the different topics we are covering this semester and a link to reference to the assignments for those topics. So probably these are the two most important pieces that you want to see in the syllabus just because you want to know what our schedule will be and what homework assignments you have. But there's a lot of other information in the syllabus about participating in an online class. Something else that's in the syllabus is my late policy. I'm kind of a stickler on getting your assignments in on time. There's a really good reason for that. Number one, this is a class about the law, and deadlines in the law are crucially important. You can't really show up to court at 10 o'clock at night and say, oh, I just needed an extra few hours to finish my brief and expect the court will just open the doors for you. So it's a really good practice to think about really adhering to deadlines. For those of you that are pursuing a paralegal studies degree, this is paramount. And even for some of you who are taking this class for other requirements, deadlines in all professions are really important. Now, I also understand that life has curveballs they throw at us, and sometimes we're not able to meet deadlines. So here's the big piece about deadlines. If you think that you cannot make a deadline for one of the homework assignments, please email me and ask for an extension, because that's what you would do with your boss, your supervisor, your colleague. Always better to just be honest and say, something has come up, I can't make the deadline, I need an extension. So I do allow a grace period for late assignments. Given the short semester, the grace period is only 4 days. After 4 days, I will not accept a late assignment. The other reason I don't do that is because if I continually accept late assignments from all students beyond a 4-day period, I will be spending the last week of the semester grading people's assignments from 4 weeks earlier and just catching up and catching up and catching up. And that's not great for my own sanity and my time management. And it's not respectful to me. So out of respect for you, I'm a pretty quick grader and I will have your grades back to you within just a few days. I don't like to let assignments sit and pile up either. You should know how you're doing in the class. But out of respect for me, I'm not your boss, but I am your professor. Please be on time with assignments. So take a look at the schedule and budget your time. Now, a little bit about the content of the class. It's Introduction to Law. Law is super exciting. Even when we may disagree with the law, even when we may have differences of opinions about what the law or the analysis might be, it's really exciting. So let's go over some of the topics and you'll see how I've condensed some topics together. And what I really ask from you all as you move through the material is please budget your time. I'm giving you a week's worth of material at a time. And you will also see that I will even allow you to go ahead a little bit into the second week. And what I mean by that is make a plan for yourself. I will ask you this question as part of your first homework assignment is just to reflect upon your personal life and schedule. Don't have to share anything personal with me, but I want you to really think about what your daily obligations are. If you have a job or two, if you have family members that you are taking care of, if you have other obligations, tasks, or chores, think about what those are and also think about how you will find time every day to devote to this class. Because of the short semester, this is not a class where you can get all your work done in one day. If you're saving yourself just one day a week to do all your work for the class, you are not going to be successful in completing the material and more importantly, in learning the material. So let me show you, if I scroll down here, you'll see the outline for the semester. Week 1 begins on Tuesday right after Memorial Day and ends the following Monday. Every week moves from a Monday to a Monday. I'm really consistent with the structure of the class and the organization because I don't want you to have to keep multiple deadlines in your head, but I want you to know what they are. Every week by Monday morning at 8 a.m., the new unit becomes available, and here are the topics we are going to cover and the assignments that are due by the following Monday. The discussion board posts are always due by midnight Thursday of that week. So that gives you from Monday morning to Thursday night to read enough of the lecture material of that week's unit in order to comment on the discussion board. After the first post is due for the discussion board on Thursday night at midnight, between Thursday night at midnight and the following Monday morning at 8 a.m., you must also reply to at least 2 classmates. That means each week you're responsible for 3 discussion board posts minimally, although I absolutely encourage you to comment more. That makes a robust class discussion. It makes the whole class more interesting. And by the way, I read and comment on the board a lot. I'm very active on it. So it's not this passive thing that I don't pay attention to. Oh, I do. And I really enjoy reading it. I'm going to stop here for a second because I want to mention, before I continue talking about the actual content of the class and more about the assignments and discussion board, I want you to know that these videos are free for me to make, but the program only lets me record for 15 minutes at a time. And I'm actually already over 14 minutes. So I'm going to stop here and I'm going to record a second video where I will continue on with the discussion here, and I'll focus a little bit more on the topics of the class. And let me just scroll up for a second. I also want to show you what this section looks like called coursework, because that's where you're going to be spending most of your time. So I'll say goodbye to you here, and I'll see you on the second video, which for me will be in a few minutes, but for you, you can just go click to it right now.